My name is Eric Felstead, and I'm on my way to an after Christmas party, so I wanted to get this video in really quick for Tim Ferriss and anyone who's ever heard about the 4-hour work week, because I want to talk about how those principles changed my life. I'm a CFO by training, by background, and in 2009 I went part-time, and I'm in the process of quitting my job altogether. And I'm going to talk to you about a couple of paradigms and things that I've learned from Tim's book and from life. The first thing I want to start out with is that you can learn things one of two ways in life. You can listen to somebody and apply those principles in your life and learn that way. You know, going to college is an example. Or you can have certain events thrust upon you where you're forced to learn certain principles, not by out of your choice. And I'm going to talk about both of those and how I highly recommend you learn from somebody, because the second choice is not always real favorable and fun. So the first thing we started doing, and that Tim talks about, is this process of elimination. Eliminating stuff that is not important. The 80-20 rule, the Pareto's law. We started in our family life to eliminate friends and social obligations that we thought were obligations that were not true obligations. We started eliminating those to have a better life and to have a closer family. The only obligations that you have in life are maybe to your God, your country, and to your employer. But you do not have to be obligated to all these social things. That's something we learned. We wanted to simplify our lives. And so we started to eliminate not only friends and social obligations, but stuff. We started eliminating all the crap that you acquire in your life that just bogs you time, takes time to manage. And that includes things like investments. We had 2 cabins, I had nice cars, had lots of things, and a motorcycle, sold that stuff. And there's basically 2 paradigms in life, your financial life, that you can learn. The first one is you work your butt off and you acquire a bunch of things. I did that for most of the last 10 years, working really hard, acquiring things. But the second paradigm I'm now transitioning to is way more fun and way better for you. And it's acquiring sufficient for your needs and giving away the rest. Giving it to charity. And just get what you need so you can have the lifestyle you want. Tim talks about these things. His whole book is about this lifestyle. And it's so important that you learn this principle because it'll bring so much more happiness to you and your family. In August of 2006, my son had just celebrated his 5th birthday, and he fell down and hit his head on our hardwood floors. After not being able to console him, we took him up to the hospital, and they told us after doing a CAT scan that he had a golf ball-sized brain tumor in his head. And so he went into brain surgery the next day, and after 30 days of trying to recover from that, which was very grueling, he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, he came out of that and started to get better, but then we put him into 30 days of intense radiation. It made him very sick. And right after that, after we recovered a little bit from that, we stuck him into a 1.5 years of chemotherapy to kill the rest of the brain cancer cells that were in his body. And this was a very difficult time and a difficult process for our family. I had a job as a CFO. I maintained that job barely, but all I could do was focus on my family. And so the second principle that Tim talks about is taking a low information diet or cultivating this selective ignorance. That was thrust upon me. This is when Twitter, social media, blogging, Facebook, all these things were exploding, and I had no clue. I had no time to do that kind of stuff. Didn't know what was going on. So I missed out on that whole wave of things that were going on in the internet world. But in 2009, I was able to catch up on my information backup that I had missed out on. And in July of 2009, I started with a buddy to learn internet marketing, and I created a program called Paid in 14 Days, How to Get Started in Internet Marketing. And I did that after working really hard to get caught up and actually become an expert in this area and create some businesses so I could teach people about internet marketing. Just proving the point that Tim teaches, that you can catch up on information. Don't be afraid to shut off your email, to shut off this information that is flooded at us. I, in 2009, went part-time at my job as a CFO, and started in 2009. I created 2 businesses that I'm in the process of putting on autopilot. And I was able to do this by applying the principles from Tim's book. The third principle, and really important one, is to outsource. Outsource your life. Outsource those things that you don't know how to do. For example, I didn't know how to build a website. I didn't know how to do so many things online. But by getting a virtual assistant, hiring somebody for just a few dollars an hour, I was able to create businesses that are online and that make money. And heck, why not do that? I live a much better life now. I'm planning to move to Panama next summer with my family, and we're going to go experience South America, Southern America. So those are the principles you can learn. I highly recommend you apply the 4-hour